What is the single biggest mistake in the field of psychology? This is Jürgen Rasmussen asking that very question. Curious to hear what you think. Here's what I think is a really good candidate. A really good candidate is that the field of psychology does not make a distinction between being or consciousness and thinking. And this is problematic for several reasons. One of them is it's just not true, and it creates a lot of unnecessary problems and psychological suffering. So the field of psychology kind of makes it seem as if what we are these personality tendencies, and that thinking is where it's at, and that we even are the thinkers of sorts. But this isn't true. And one way you can know that this isn't true is by just noticing that there is something which is aware of what you call your thoughts. There's something which is aware of your thoughts and your feelings. And that something which isn't a thing is not a thought. It's not a feeling. Because that which is aware of a thought or a feeling is not a thought and it's not a feeling. Because a thought can't be aware. A feeling can't be aware. Only awareness is aware, or only consciousness is conscious. Now, this identification with thinking, like Rene Descartes used to say, I think, therefore I am, it's actually the other way around. Thinking is just a particular appearance of consciousness. It's not who or what you fundamentally are. So the reason why we struggle so much psychologically with thoughts and feelings is because A, it usually looks as if we are these thoughts and feelings. People come into my office and they say, I am depressed, I am anxious, I am, an unworthy person. These are thoughts, but they don't look like thoughts. They look like who or what this being fundamentally is, right? And then it becomes really painful. It becomes painful when it looks as if we are the thinker of these thoughts, and therefore they say something unique and bad about us. Then we get the idea that we have to work on ourselves, or we have to learn to love ourselves, or like ourselves, and work on our self-esteem. And this just adds a lot of abstractions to abstractions. It just leads to a lot of thinking about thinking and taking thinking so seriously and identifying with it. If you look at the two most common flavors of psychological suffering, what we tend to call depression and anxiety would be more accurately labeled anxietizing and depressing, since these are processes. But they are processes of overthinking and identification. You see, everyone has negative thoughts and negative feelings, but the people who end up anxietizing and depressing are ruminating and worrying at high levels. It's the amount of thinking. And again, why do people have this amount of thinking? Because the thinking looks so important. People are fundamentally scared of their own experience. They think they need to be in control and they need to master their thoughts, and they should feel a certain way and they shouldn't feel other ways because it looks like who they are, right? And that's the big mistake. Remember, there's something which isn't a thing, which is aware of these thoughts and feelings. And that which is aware of thoughts and feelings is per definition not thoughts nor feelings, because thoughts or feelings cannot be aware. Only awareness is aware, or only consciousness is conscious. You see, this results in another trick of the mind as well. We tend to think that we have to accomplish our goals, and we need approval, and that the joy and happiness lies in objects and relationships and conquests and getting things, right? But if you play that tennis match and you win, right? Yes, at that moment there is a surge of joy, but what really happens is that the thinking mind, the seeking, the resisting temporarily undoes itself. The mind quiets, and the innate happiness that you fundamentally are shines through. You see, it's already there. It's innate. It's inside of you. You are what you're looking for in relationships and accomplishments and conquests and objects, right? But the thinking mind fires back up again and attributes the whole thing to the object or to the accomplishment. And then the rat race continues on. This identification with thinking and that we are the thinker also makes us seem separate from life. It makes us live in a world of abstractions. It makes us scared of death. It makes us feel fragmented and separate from life. But in reality, we're not separate from life. We are life itself. We are that which life emerges out of. And this over-identification with thinking makes it seem otherwise. And that misunderstanding is the source of so much unnecessary anxiety, misery, and unnecessary psychological suffering. So I hope this was useful and thought-provoking. If you're watching this in 2025, know that I have an online course coming up in September called Seeing Through the Self-Illusion Masterclass. This touches on this very topic. If that's of interest, hit the seminar page at provocativehypnosis.com. If there's some change you would like to make in your life, or if you would like to become less afraid of your own inner experience, you can book me for sessions. You can reach out at provocativehypnosis.com. Shoot me an email. We'll have a conversation, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together as a team. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for listening.